Yo, what's up YouTube? It's SH Garrison here, and welcome back to the channel. First off, I'd like to apologize for the lack of content that I have put out this year of 2019. Honestly, it's been ups, highest of highs, lowest of lows, but I'd like to put out something positive today and just do a year-end review, a recap sort of, by putting out my top 10 rankings of the following: the debuts of this year, the solo releases, boy group comebacks, girl group comebacks, some notables, and some B-sides that I'd love to share with you guys that you guys should not miss out on if you haven't yet. But yeah, other than that, let's just get into this right away, starting with the debuts. Number 10, Bandit's debut with their title track, Hocus Pocus. Such a memorable debut of 2019. However, it wasn't far from unique than I thought of initially, but they grew on me when they came back shortly with Dramatic, and as of recently with Dumb. They got me hooked and got me realizing what they were going for with their debut.
I don't give a shit what they think about us. 같이 젖혀 맘대로 취해도 돼. 지도가 필요해 찾고 있어 Savannah.
At number 9, Only One Of's debut was Savannah and Time Leap. Initially, I got messed up from their lyrics, thought they were cursing, but they actually weren't. This is the most underground boy group you can get. Honestly, I got into this boy group by being familiar with the underground K-R&B artists behind their music in terms of the lyrics and the music production. This song, Savannah, very unconventional and dark in a different way compared to other boy group releases. And Time Leap, it was so nostalgic in a way that it was really catchy, that you can listen and sing along easily without knowing any Korean throughout weeks on. Cherry Bullet on my list at number 8, debuting with Q&A this year. I think they're going through a rough patch. Their label has not been transparent whatsoever. I hope they do not get neglected or mistreated at all. They deserve a lot more love. Should have gained traction during their first comeback of Really Really. That's where they got me. They got me captivated then. Made me look back on their debut and say, wow. The bridge in this song is so good. Vocals coming out in particular from Bora and Haeyeon. So good. Overall identity of 8-bit and video games. I hope and pray for their future to come. And yeah. For number 7, I put down Hanapia's debut with their single Drip. This company is something else, I tell you. Just seeing some of the members who want to continue to pursue music from Pristin and adding Bada in the mix warms my heart. Just giving that second chance that is not given that much these days in the industry. And this company seems very promising in terms of production value of the MV, the music. The outfits were classy and stunning, clean, choreo. Love everything about Hanapia and the start of their new journey. I am really hoping for a mini album or a full album next year to see more of their identity and what they're all about. At number 6, I have TXT, aka Tomorrow by Together's debut with Crown this year. Who would have thought Big Hit was planning to debut a boy group instead of a girl group? Either way, I am not complaining because they came with all cylinders firing. They honestly did. Got me on the first listen. Loved the MV, and the song was so refreshing. More than a Sprite commercial, honestly. They showed their true colors definitely this year. Number 5, ONEUS. They debuted with Valkyrie this year. I can't remember if someone recommended this song to me or YouTube did, but man, thank God I got into this group this year. With just the first minute listen into the song, I got addicted to their sound, and now I know what their identity is like, considering that they had 2 comebacks this year, one being their song Twilight, the other one being Lit, more of a traditional sounding type song that is honestly lit, but they definitely served us this year. In my opinion, they killed it. Rocket Punch on my list at number 4, debuting with Bim Bam Boom this year. What can I say? Woollim made some big moves by acquiring Jury after PD48 and after Soohyun's appearance on PD48 with Eunbi and Chaewon. What a debut. I'm telling you guys, this is the first time ever Woollim has done a girl crush concept, and they killed it, honestly, with their leader, Yeonhee. She has such a bright personality. And they also show other labels that you don't have to have good, crazy rap lines to have a good song. At number 3, CIX's debut with Movie Star. They got their first win in 1 week, which is a huge accomplishment considering they're not from the big 3 labels out there. But I'd got to say, thank goodness BX and Sunghoon left YG and debuted in this group. They had so much talent, and I didn't want that to go to waste. They came and served us with their other members, and congrats to them. They accomplished a lot this year. At number 2, ITZY's Dalla Dalla. I'm pretty sure I was not the only one taken by surprise with this group and their debut. It took me 3 to 5 listens to actually enjoy the song and grasp what they're trying to go for, which is their loud, in-your-face type of style that's unconventional, but sort of so unconventional that it can be mainstream. I think they had a really good follow-up with Icy. I'm still waiting for a B-side track to really catch me other than Cherry. And yeah, they deserved that Rookie of the Year award and those first place awards for sure.
yeah. 어떻게 될지 모른 거야 땀에 흠뻑 젖어 노래해 And I got plenty people up all night like Fit it 멋지게 Fit it move your body 따라만 보기 slow
왔던 너를 그려봐 너도 몰랐던 널 마주하게 되는 time 이 순간을 기다리 심장에 쿵쿵 떨림을 더 크게 외쳐세 준비가 됐어 준비가 됐어 Everything everything you gotta want my everything 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 you gotta want my everything 잠든 날 깨우는 빛 봉봉 쇼콜라 go up to the sky 봉봉 쇼콜라
At number 1, Everglow's debut with Bom Bom Chocolat. So it was either ITZY or Everglow. It was such a hard choice, but at the end of the day, I picked Everglow and Everglow picked me. Ever since the members who attended PD48 with Yena, I was overhyping the group into the medleys, into the covers, into the Crankin' films, into their teaser that got crazy amount of views for their debut. And then when the debut happened, I'm like, this is so smart. Coming right out the gates as a race, trying to be that number 1 girl group as a concept. And it was so addicting. The Na Na Na, the follow-up with their first comeback with Adios, Bop and a Half again. They just gave us so much. I couldn't handle it all at one spot, but it means a lot. Where the last time I instantly followed a girl group was Blackpink. That is something.
우리가 시작하자 Never meant to change The fire in your eyes 처음으로
At number 10 for solo releases, none other than herself, CL, releasing In the Name of Love. When this dropped, I was really busy in early December, but I'm so glad that I took the time to check out her releases. In particular, with Dumb and Rewind, got me vulnerable. It just blows my mind how she did not release those tracks in 2016 and 2017 until now. But I'm so happy for her that she is free now and she's able to express her voice.
거운하게 될 테니 더 타오르게 더 천천히 너를 애태우게 할 한계 없이 더욱 빠져들고 싶게 할널 심해 및 그 고요를 깨운 날
At number 9, Taemin, he released Want. I just highly respect this man. There's no way I'm excluding him from my rankings since he's been doing work ever since he debuted and really was part of the era where he started to change and push forward the K-pop industry. I love his sexy and hot concepts, and the man is more than a quadruple threat. Congrats to him on this release, and cheers to him debuting in Super M.
I be like 난 떠날래 아무도 찾을 수 없는 곳으로 난 떠나고 나타날 거야 기억에서 사라져 지워 기억에서 adios 꿈에서도 adios.
At number 8, Hoodie's release of Adios featuring Gray. When I was thinking about solo releases, I was going through my playlists and looking at my liked songs on Spotify, and wow, how can I forget about Hoodie's release of 2019? She pulled through, and when I meant she literally pulled through, she came to my city and performed on Jay Park's tour with her crazy hits and obviously her newest song, Adios. There's just a newfound love for me about her, especially when she released a track with Nafly titled Love Me. I highly recommend this song, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for her.
나는 멍청해 Toy, 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 toy I don't like it Nobody like 가련이 심청해 Toy, 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 toy I don't like it Nobody like it
At number 7, Hwasa's release with Twit. I think 2019 was her year. When this song dropped, I kept this song on repeat for days. Absolute bop. But her and Mamamoo definitely made an impact, especially going on to Queendom. Thank you to their label for allowing them to do that, to prevent the drama that Mnet wanted to do between the groups on the show. Instead, we got more relationships between girl groups and ton of bops.
타올라라 꺼지지 않게 불띠 붉은 채더 크게 번져 지금 가장 뜨거운
At number 6, Taeyeon's release of Spark. I think she came through with flying colors in 2019 with 4 Seasons, with Spark. I think she really did. Ever since her era with something new, she's been experimenting, and I think she's doing it the right way, or a little bit before that era. Other than that, I can't wait to see what's in store for her, especially her B-sides. She does not disappoint with those two.
우리야 네모가는 밤 어디 손가락으로 장미꽃을 피워 향기에 취할
At number 5, IU's release of Blooming. I just don't understand how she keeps releasing something better than the previous release she has done. Better and better and better, and it never keeps stopping. I think with this release, it really shows like a fresh pop rock sound from her, but also showing something reminiscent from the mid to late 90s or even early 2000s singer-songwriter stuff. This is just so good, but in a way that it's not depressing and bright. It's nice and simple, but to the point where it's somewhat really groovy. Like how? Like honestly, how? IU, keep doing your thing. You are feeding us with so much jams. At number 4, Sunmi's release with Noir. It was a difficult decision between Noir and La La Lay, but I chose Noir because I had more of a personal connect to the song, and the fact that I saw her in person live performing this song early on in the year. I think she just has that signature Sunmi sound ever since she went solo in JYP, but then evolved her music, matured her sound, and went to the point where, oh, when you hear this without seeing the title track name, you know it's Sunmi. It is simply Sunmi, that signature sound that you can't get enough of. And at the same time, all of her releases so far can be understood without subtitles. They are understood through the MV, and they're understood through the aesthetic and instrumental at the same time. I really think she did a lot this year, especially on social media. Not just in terms of memes, but in terms of being an inspirational individual in the industry.
항상 너의 곁에 I wanna be 늘 너의 안에 I wanna be 외로울 때는 날 떠올리기 지금 이 노래가 죄 끝나기도 전에 항상 너의 안에 I wanna be
Key at number 3, he released I Wanna Be featuring Soyeon. I really dub his first album repackage here as one of the best down in history. The featurings are insane, such as Crush, Soyu, Vinchan, and Hane. And the fact that he brought in all these crazy, insane EDM producers such as LDN Noise, Noah Conrad, Skrillex, the list goes on. It does not stop there. And for him to be a soloist, I would rank him as like S plus tier. He has the range, not only in the EDM department and featurings. I would say he is just perfect alone without any featurings at the same time. This was such a bouncy release, bouncy, fun, addictive release, and it got me hyped up from the start with the background vocals with Soyeon and then into her rap part. Really, congrats to Key. He did a lot before he enlisted, and I will definitely wait for his return.
어떤 다른 이유로 미뤄도 사랑해란 말을 너에게 건네줘 right now We're the same, we're the same, we're the same people, yeah. Are you happy? Are you sad? Why is it so hard to be loved?
At number 2, Zico's release with Human. He got me tearing up early in the morning on a weekday with this release. I think he accomplished a lot in 1 year, starting up his own label, having a comeback with Fancy Child, but more than that. In his 2-part album, aka Thinking, he speaks about the realness and the truth, and at the same time having some fun, playful, or hardcore rap songs in his album. But in Human particularly, he has a couple lines near the end where he talks about how we should internalize it and make it real in life, that it's simply short and people you love and care about will not be there more. I know it's a scary thought, but why not express and treat them how you would now, not when they're gone, not with regret. He goes beyond these lines. Every single line in this song, he is so deep, so down to earth, and this is why I love Zico.
숨길 따라서 너와 나는 모든 계절이 소중해 나만의 꽃로서 내 곁에
내 머리 만져줘 널 가득 안고 싶은 건 너의 맘이 하얀 안개 까맣게 물들이게 내 방 숨 쉬는 모든 것 뭔가 잘못됐다고 느끼니 우리들만 느껴지는 이상한 느낌 나도 너무 좋아 버릴 수 아쉬워 벌써 12시 어떻게 벌써 12시나 보내주기 싫은걸 알고 있어 how you feeling
At number 1, Chang'a. For those who are wondering where she was on my list, right here at number 1. She released Gotta Go in January, right away to kick off our 2019, and it was such an iconic song that will go down for years and generations to come, in my opinion. But it really goes to show in general about soloists. You can have a song that kicks it off really good as a debut, but it's all about maintaining that identity and what you're all about, and maybe even go into the realm of experimenting your sound in different genres. But Chungha initially, when she debuted, I think it wasn't like crazy popular, the song that she debuted with, but she did start to gain traction, more buzz, and more fans, comeback after comeback, collab after collab, and into Wow Thing, and then into the latest collabs such as Changmo and Rich Brian. But she has grinded a lot, and I respect her for that.
갖고 싶어 널 yeah 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 yes I wanna be you 너를 느끼고 싶어
At number 10, Golden Child's release of Wannabe in the month of November. I had quite a journey with them. During their debut, I really liked their title track. Some of their comebacks I did enjoy as well, not all of them to be honest, but this was the comeback that fully reeled me in and be like, I need to learn all of their names. I need to go watch all of the shows that they've been on, because wow, man oh man, they grew up and they're starting to mature this sound. This is the phase that I like seeing in boy groups and girl groups, and they just managed to pull it off with this concept, so classy, so sleek, but sexy at the same time.
I can wait 네 목소리 간질간질간질하게 들려 맘이 포근포근포근하게 눈가는 그려지는 네 모습이 좋아 지금
Astro at number 9, they released All Night. Hands down my favorite release to date, right next to Always You and Blue Flame. I think Astro has matured a lot in the last couple of years. In 2017, I think they started to mature in Crazy Sexy Cool into this sound, All Night. I'm so happy for them to get their first win, to pull it off with a type of concept like this, and then emerge to even something more sexy like in Blue Flame. Congrats to them. And I think my bias might be Moonbin. We shall see though.
거칠게 달리는 시작으로 On my way 모두 발을 맞추고 On my way 하나 둘 하면 뛰어 On my way 없는 길도 만들어 어서 가자 거칠게 달리는 시작으로.
At number 8, ATEEZ Wonderland. I remember when I first checked out this boy group when they were KQ fellas on my YouTube recommendations. They were coming out with cover after cover. I'm like, oh snap. Who are these boys? I do a little research. Their entertainment, their label, houses 7 Seasons, which houses Block B. I'm like, oh snap. And then as they came out with more, debuted as ATEEZ, I'm like, I see you. And then have their first comeback. Oh, I need to follow this boy group now. Even though it felt like I came in too late, it took me the longest time until their first comeback, but it's never too late to honestly stand a group, especially ATEEZ. Their comeback with Wonderland, I can't find a single bad song on that album. Half of it is feel-good songs that could be relatable, the other half being really hype, really upbeat. And that's what I love about ATEEZ. Their range in diversity of music and etc. is huge, which makes them, in my opinion, one of the generational boy groups that will be remembered throughout years.
이제 여기 너무 높아 난 눈에 널 맞추고 싶어 Yeah, you make me your boy with love Oh my You got me high so fast 내 전부 함께 하고 싶어.
At number 7, BTS's release with Boy With Love. I totally didn't expect this type of comeback, but it was amazing follow up from their previous comeback and really filled up a void during the time of that quarter in the K-pop industry where a lot of boy groups were doing dark concepts or somewhat unconventional concepts, but BTS filled that void that we needed. We needed a fun, free-spirited comeback that is not too complex, not too crazy, and just a straight up bop, a bop and a half. They do not disappoint in terms of title tracks, also in terms of B-sides. They're only going to continue to succeed, and I can't wait to see and hear what they will release in 2020. At number 6, 17's release with Fear. When this dropped, it hit me like a truck, as much as Hit and Getting Closer did. But what I love and appreciate about these boys is the surprise factor behind their music. You simply cannot predict what they're going to put out next, but at the same time, I do think they bring some elements from their previous releases onto their upcoming releases. I don't know how to explain it, but for example, Don't Wanna Cry and Home got me feeling vulnerable and emotional, but both of those releases are different in terms of sound and concept, which makes me think that they are unique in a special way, and they go beyond that with their variety from the clips that I've seen from my friend on Twitter. You know who you are. But I can't wait to get into them more into 2020. They are something special.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
At number 4, Winner's release with So So. This is one of the most rare releases in terms of how the chorus is as equally impactful as the pre-chorus. Not the pre-chorus being more powerful than the chorus, or the chorus being more impactful than the pre-chorus. Both of them were equal in a way that it gave us some sense of vulnerability, some raw emotion, and deep meanings that Winner was trying to portray throughout the MV and the music at the same time. How I perceive it is just lingering feelings of maybe a breakup, something that's unfazed, and how everything is crashing down in life. But wow, man oh man, Hooney, that one part in the MV where Hooney's hugging himself, he is exposed, he is bare, and it just drops with the chorus. That got me. It was so powerful. This song certainly hit in a different way compared to other vulnerable songs. At number 3, Moreau by Stray Kids. This song, headbanger and a half, to the point where I had to stop it, keeping it on repeat to focus on my studies. I love the rap verses in this song and the piercing vocals that comes right through the instrumental. My favorite part has to be by my bias, Han, near the end where he goes Bear Grylls. But I really do miss Woojin. I'm just so sorry to bring that up, but I think even though he didn't seem to get a lot of lines, he had important parts, and he will forever be known as a part of Stray Kids deep down in my heart.
그만해줘 내 귀 속에 쏟아대는 소리감을 let it blow 오감은 그것으로 쏠리고 곤두서고 들어온 나는 제멋대로 빚어 하늘을 뜬 채로 잠들면 소리 없이 스며드는 the phantom I'm so sick 더럽게 불이 켜지면 네가 사라져 있게 날 위한다고 I don't think so 황금에게 파고들어 I don't think so.
At number 2, Obsession by EXO. I was literally obsessed with this overall comeback, except for the fact that my boy Chen had some questionable hair as Evil Chen. I think they brought more than an exceptional title track in my opinion, with Chanyeol's insane rap verses that go hard in the paint with the good hook and choruses in the title track. What I've noticed from them in the last couple of comebacks and releases is that they went beyond the experimental route. And what I mean by that is that they're catering to more than 3 or 4 audiences out there by showing different genres of music and putting an EXO twist to those songs and spreading the love. One of these days, I honestly need to attend one of their concerts if they do ever come to Canada, you know.
나만의 유일한 그때라는 시초 내 맘의 유일한 그때라는 시초 얼마나 달려야 다시 볼 수 있을까 날 기다려줘 잊지 말아줘 사랑한다고 말할 거야 네 곁에서 지나간 자리에 너의 마음속 지쳐가는 love story 쳇바퀴 돌듯 제자리 너를 잡기 위한 racing game RPM RPM 불타오른 love story 멈추지 마 끝이 아니야 넌 날 가득 채울 energy RPM RPM You say if you wanna feel it say yeah If you wanna feel it, say yeah.
At number 1, Superhuman by NCT 127. I just think these boys are one of the most revolutionary boy groups out there, in my opinion. Initially, when I first checked out this song, was actually on live television, which was a huge mistake on my part. I think it gave me false expectations into the MV, but when I checked out the MV, I was like, why did I saw it live and on TV first before the MV? This release was more than a bop and a half in terms of the choreo, in terms of the lyrics, and what gave this a little more oomph to it was the futuristic concept that I've never heard or seen in my life. The techniques in filming, the lighting effects, just everything about this title track screams NCT, and what makes it so game-changing in the industry, I'd have to say. This is totally an SM style type of song, but so inherently NCT at the same time. I just feel like that this song is somewhat underrated still to this date, and hopefully they just gain more traction and popularity locally and internationally in the years to come.
사랑의 숨통을 끊어야겠어 Let's kill this love Yeah 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 yeah
At number 10, Kill This Love by Blackpink. I still regard them as one of my top favorite girl groups out there, to be honest. Couple of things to note and highlight about their 2019 was first time experiencing more than one track and couple of tracks on one mini album. The B-sides were clean, couldn't find a single bad song. Maybe the remix hits differently for some people, but them just carrying their entire discography to Coachella was huge. Will go down in history, and there's just one thing that I really want from Blackpink is new music and more content. YG is definitely holding them back, but at least we got a comeback coming up supposedly. As long as we get an actual date for their comeback in early 2020, I'll be satisfied. But I'll be really happy if one of the two things changes, is them, which is not that likely, switching to a different label, the other being a straight up overhaul in the label, so all the groups in the label will start coming out with more releases and there would be more content. But yeah. At number 9, No by CLC. I was blown away with this comeback, but first I've got to say, when I checked out this group when they released Black Dress, I was like, ooh, I see you. But then when they released this, I was blown out of the water, got me waking up from my slumber, and I checked out the B-sides to this mini album, Show and Like It, got me. Those tracks got me in particular, got me headbang and bopping for days on and out. Really solid mini album, and I'm so glad that they got their first win, well deserved. And then they came through with Me and Devil. They just did a lot in 2019, and I can't wait for their full album in 2020. At number 8, Violetta by IZ*ONE. This was one of the huge releases that helped me push through in the school year. Coming with this beautiful, mesmerizing concept unheard of before, and releasing these live stages of their B-sides, Up, Airplane, and especially Highlight got my attention. It's just seeing multiple sides of IZ*ONE and seeing their true colors. This comeback made me even love their debut song that much. And at the same time, I think Minju and Hyewon fully grew on me with this comeback. After every survival show and when groups come from it, it's always 1, 2, or 3 members that, takes time to grow on me, and I'm so glad that they did, and I knew it was going to happen at some point eventually. I hope they have a better year in 2020 because they deserve a lot more love and especially appreciation by their, temporary label, and hopefully they push out their releases. I really want that new mini album or album coming up, or even 3 comebacks, hopefully. At number 7, Butterfly by Luna. I really enjoyed this comeback. It was beautiful, but at the same time, it was so meaningful throughout the MV and the entire track of the song. I would say they have accomplished a lot in 1 year and been achieving success together. since pre-debut as individuals in subunits and as a group as a whole. They are something special. I love seeing fan art. I love seeing Luna Theory. There's just so much content from these girls, except for the fact that we need more music from them, which I would love to get an actual date from BBC. But other than that, hands down, one of my favorite girl groups out there.
Goodbye, ever adios. Goodbye, ever adios. Goodbye, ever adios.
At number 6, Adios by Everglow. Right after they debuted, I was like, damn, they are setting the bar high in terms of expectations in their first comeback. One of the two things can either happen. First thing could be not faring that well in terms of popularity in the public eye, while the other one being exceeding expectations with their first comeback, and that is what they did. They exceeded expectations, personally mine, and brought it to another level with an unexpected release with Adios and these B-sides to their single album. Hopefully we see more from them in 2020 and the years to come in terms of mini albums, maybe even a full album, and especially in content with English subs. That would be great, such as like their reality show that came out. They're definitely one of the rookie groups out there in the scene right now that have made a big splash. At number 5, Hip by Mamamoo. I literally couldn't stop playing this song right beside 4x Forever and Destiny. I do think that they're one of the few groups out there that's pushing the boundaries in the K-pop industry with their sound, with their identity as a group, and more importantly with their concepts going beyond the girl group norm and being the driving factor in the industry, I'd say. At number 4, the 5th season by Oh My Girl. They are one of the two magical / dreamlike girl groups out there who are killing it in the scene right next to Wooju Sonia. I think this overall comeback was one of the biggest by Oh My Girl to date, with coming out with their first full album. The B-sides were amazing, and Mimi, I love Mimi and her rap verses, especially in Checkmate. I would have to say be sure to check out their B-sides if you have not. But in terms of their title track, I love the 2-part chorus. At the same time, the momentum, it never lets up, and you can actually feel the emotion in their singing, and that's what I love about Oh My Girl. There's such an emotional connection through their music and meaningful sounds, I would have to say. They are one special girl group, and I will definitely keep following them for the years to come. At number 3, by A-Pink. This release was one of the first songs that got me feeling like Song of the Year right after first listen. This release is one of the examples of A-Pink maturing their sound and aging like fine wine. I love how they went from girl crush cutesy in the early days when I was jamming out to them in junior high school, through a ballad phase, and then into this really mature concept sounding of A-Pink. Let's be honest here. No one really expected from them to go from the ballads into I'm So Sick into here. I think they're right on the track right now. They're going in the correct direction, and they're getting really clever with their releases, hence the title tracks they've been releasing these days. Overall, I simply cannot get sick of this song and this era. This era has to be one of the most memorable songs, especially with the chorus right next to Mr. Chu, LUV, I'm So Sick, and Remember. In my opinion, they are just keep growing and changing, and that's what I admire about A-Pink at the moment.
서로를 부서지게 그리고 또 껴안아 You got me feeling like a psycho 우리 보고 말해 자꾸 다시 안 볼 듯 싸우다가도 붙어다니니 말야 이해가 안 간대 웃기지도 않대 맞아 psycho 서로 좋아지는 바보 너 없인 어지럽고 슬퍼져 기운도만 없어요 둘이 잘 만났대 Hey now I'm okay
At number 2, Psycho by Red Velvet. Red Velvet is honestly one of the revolutionary girl groups out there right now, the generational ones, and they're just doing their thing, releasing bop after bop, but through different genres of music, and putting out songs so it can cater to people with different taste. And that's what I've been seeing throughout the entire series up until this finale. I'm so glad that I waited for them to release this before putting out this list, because honestly, this song hits differently. Every time when I see this part of the song being played on social media or replied to a relevant post, I start jamming, and then I just want to search up the MV to keep it on repeat and just jam out all day long. So addicting, and knowing who made the choreo and hearing the English version of it, man, I really want the English version of it at some point. Other than that, Wendy, I hope you have a safe recovery. And at the same time, the industry, I do think, needs to start respecting groups such as Red Velvet. Even regardless of seniority, they need to do it, and they need to appreciate what they have done so far.
어머나 우리를 살랑살랑 흔들어대 다 모르는 척 여울 안에 여우 속닥거리는 시기지 좀 무서워 나 내가 좀 예뻐 두 눈을 뗄 수 없지 아찔한 립스틱 모두가 원하는 내 kiss 내가 좀 예뻐 두 눈을 뗄 수 없지 아찔한 립스틱 모두가 원하는 내 kiss 소원난 나에게 말해 들어줄게 거짓말 안 내고 흔들리지 않아 손잡아 이루리 이루리라 이루리라 모두 다 이뤄질 거야 나를 느껴봐 우린 원해 love 어두운 밤 속에서는 빛을 찾을 거야 이루리라 해주는 너의 그 한마디에 Everything's alright till I have nobody 애써 다 somebody 특별한 나로 변해 You make me feel special 세상이 아무리 날 주저앉혀도 아프고 아픈 말들이 날 찔러도 네가 있어 난 다시 웃어 That's what you do
At number 1, Feel Special by Twice. It was honestly gonna be Fancy or Feel Special. Either way, they released songs of the year along with crazy good B-sides. I really do think they've not just been maturing their sound and their identity as a group with their concepts, but with their B-sides as well. Their B-sides are really good, especially one of my favorites, Love Foolish, along with Rainbow in their latest KR release. Twice has been going through amazing direction ever since Signal, and I love them for that. Hopefully they get the more protection that they deserve. I'm quite worried about what's going on with them currently. And yeah, I'll be waiting for their masterpieces and unexpected releases in 2020.
I need your love. I'm slowly dying now without your touch. Don't let me go. 떠나지마. 난 눈을 감고 슬픔 속으로. I'm just slowly, slowly diving. 점점 밑으로 slowly, slowly diving. 내가 뭘 원하든 every day and every night 너만 생각하곤 해. 매일 밤 딱 두 개만 couple things 오직 너만 내 곁에 있기만 하면 돼. And oh my gosh. 잠깐뿐이 해다 두 개씩 이거는 네 맘을 되게 나는 똑같이 생긴 너두 장을 손에 챙기고서 계산대로 바로 rolling 유치해봐 제정신이 아니야 술 취해봐 wow. Let's forget it all. Let's forget it all. Let's forget it all. 힘껏 달려갈게. 빛을 비춰줄게. 너만 비추는 등대가 되어줄게. 정해져 있어 너와 난 하나가 될 거니까. 너야 baby it's you. 너야 only one you.
Don't wanna see you back. Silent night. 고요한 이 밤에 need sunlight. Don't knock at my door. Set me free.
휴가에 우린 어딜 가나. 우린 어디서 자야 하나. 그 차는 낮고 내 기분은 높아. 지금 이 순간 원하는 건 하나. 어젯밤 꿈에 바다 앞에 있어 미안해 뭐야. 어젯밤 꿈에 바다 앞에 있어 미안해 뭐야. Don't tell me that you're no more yeah. 꿈을 꿔서 우리 기다린다고 멈추지 않아 절대. Oh every day every night here we go go go. Every day every night here we go go go. Every day every night let us go go.
갑자기 분위기 핑크색 기분이 오르지 기분이 오르지 나의 마음은 Love run pop pop Love run pop pop 이렇게 애타는 love sweet time Love run pop pop Love run pop pop 마음이 궁금해 Love run pop pop 안 보여 내 작은 내 손 아는 것만 같아 내 road talk 친구로서는 yeah we'll be fine 남자로서는 sorry I don't know
그래 뭐 잘못생겼잖아. 생소할 거야 내 차린 말투 라이스타고. 그런 전국적인 RSB 아니다면 you're the queen. 내가 많이 quick 해도 날 알아줘 baby.